A lot of the conversations taking place in the world today can be boiled down to one important practice, and that's the practice of self-love. The practice of completely and unconditionally loving who you are in this moment. You can't really access the greatness within yourself if you're engaging in any form of self-rejection, in any form of self-diminishment, which so many people on the planet today are in the habit of doing. We unconsciously resist our own light. We unconsciously don't know how to really fully step into the power and the greatness within our own being. We, as a global family, have gotten in the habit of looking for validation, looking for recognition, looking for acknowledgement, acceptance, and approval from out there, from the people around us. We want to receive the validation. We want to be seen and filled by those in our experiences. And we don't see ourselves. We don't recognize ourselves. We don't really know ourselves. So we go to others to tell us, to fill us with love, to recognize us, to see our light. And the thing about that is it doesn't work. Even if it fills you up temporarily, soon enough you're back in that place of wanting more approval, wanting more validation, wanting more appreciation or more acknowledgement. If not from this person, then from this person. If not from your partner, then from your friend. If not from your friend, then your coworker. And on it goes. This search to be filled up by those around you, because you're not recognizing, you're not stepping into your own capacity to fill yourself up, to fully and completely love yourself. Because it's really when you begin to love yourself that tendency to go outside yourself for love, for approval, for acceptance, for acknowledgement, that tendency to go outside yourself stops. So the remedy to that sense of needing to be approved, needing to be accepted, needing to be acknowledged, needing to be recognized by others, the remedy to that really and truly is loving yourself, acknowledging yourself, accepting yourself in every moment, unconditionally, saying to yourself, hey, I see you. Saying that and seeing yourself really in each and every moment, recognizing your own light, celebrating who you are and who you've been so far and who you're becoming and how you're blooming, taking a moment every day to just stop and notice your own being, to just stop and connect to your own being. It's really simple. If you're not loving yourself in this moment, if you're not fully and completely filling yourself up with love and acknowledgement and approval and acceptance, if you're not in this moment saying, I accept myself, I approve of myself, I acknowledge and recognize my own light, you are engaging in some form of self-denial. You are engaging in some form of self-diminishment, in some form of self-forgetting, really. And like I said, it's really when you're not loving yourself that you start to go out into the world. You start to have that dialogue in your head where, someone else isn't loving you, someone else isn't recognizing you, someone else isn't seeing you. That thing you're projecting about others not seeing you, about others not validating you, about others not connecting to you, is a mirror of your own self-disconnection. It's a mirror of your own self-forgetting. It's a reminder from your own being, that chatter, that mind chatter is telling you, hey, you haven't stopped to look at yourself today. You haven't stopped to recognize your own light today. You haven't stopped to notice and acknowledge and appreciate and embrace who you are today and who you get to be in the world. So just take a moment to see yourself right now. Just take a moment to recognize your own light. Just take this moment, this space, this conversation to turn your attention around and focus on you. through love. This isn't about focusing on yourself, with criticism, with rejection, with complaints about yourself. That's not the practice of self-love. We again, as a global family, we the human family are really, really good at criticizing ourselves, or at chopping ourselves down to bite sizes. We're really good at self-rejection. This practice is the complete opposite of that. It's taking a moment every day consciously to stop, to look at yourself and say, I see you. I see your light. I see your greatness. I see your beauty. And I unconditionally and totally and completely accept you. I accept who you are. I accept who you have been. I accept and embrace who you're becoming. I love you. And you bring that energy back into yourself. You bring that love. You circulate it in all your being. You wash yourself with this self-love, with this self-loving. There's that amazing and inspiring quote from A Return to Love that's pretty much everywhere in the world today, that the Marianne Williamson quote. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And that quote really captures our practice. We have habituated the fear of our own light, and we've made that normal. We've made self-resistance so common. It is so easy to be present to someone who is saying, I'm wrong for this, I'm wrong for that, I can't believe I did this. We're really good at being present to that. But when someone says, I'm amazing, I'm awesome, I'm wonderful, I'm beautiful, if someone was to show up with that kind of self-acceptance, we look at them like, oh my God, you are so full of yourself. And it just shows what we value. We value that self-resistance. We value that tendency to fear our own light. And we look at the opposite of total unconditional self-acceptance and we think, there's something wrong with that. And that really is a testament to how inverted our thinking has been. But that's the reason we're having these conversations so much at this point in time. It's time for that to change. And that change comes with each and every one of us. When you are loving yourself unconditionally, when you've taken on that practice, and I'm loving myself unconditionally and I've taken on that practice, the space between us, the world between us becomes bathed and washed in that unconditional love. It takes you being unconditional love with yourself and me being unconditional love with myself for the world to allow more love, more light, for the world to be capable of holding more love and more light within itself. Because the world really mirrors your capacity to hold love and my capacity to hold love, to be a container of love. And the first practice in being that container is loving yourself completely, approving of yourself, accepting yourself, recognizing yourself, and all of that. It's really that simple. You and I are the space we hold for one another. And when that space is of unconditional love, it transforms into the ground of real healing and amazing miracles. what you have to get is that really you are the glory of the whole entire cosmos. You are a magnificent expression of everything that has ever been. You want to open up to that recognition. You want to open up to seeing yourself in your true light. And you want to embrace that. Embrace the fact that it took billions of years and so many forces across time and space, across dimensions conspiring and self-orchestrating to manifest this unique you that you are. See the bigger picture of your being. See the totality of your existence. See yourself. And stop playing small with yourself. Stop denying your ability to really see the miracle that you are, to really acknowledge, embrace, accept, wrap yourself around the light of your being, of you. Not anyone else, of you. Have this conversation with yourself every day, as often as you need to. Anytime you look in the mirror, every time you look in the mirror, whatever you're doing in the world in any given moment, make it a point to see, to notice, to acknowledge, to recognize everything that you are. And when you catch yourself in those moments where it feels like you're wanting and needing someone else to see you, take that as an indication that you in that moment are not seeing yourself clearly. You are not seeing the greatness of your being in that moment, and turn the attention around and fill yourself up. It's when you take on that practice that you really begin to grow your capacity to be love in the world, to grow your capacity to anchor more love in your being. That's really the practice. So if you're seeing this video or hearing this audio and are not on my Be Love Radio Facebook page, bring yourself on over there. Every day I post something to call you back into self-love, into extending yourself, into acknowledging, accepting, validating, recognizing, and appreciating who you are. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being you.